Maria was happy. It was Friday, and she had finished her English class. She walked out of the school building with a big smile. The sun was shining, and the sky was blue. As she walked, her phone made a sound. It was a message from her friend, Tom. "Hi, Maria. Do you want to have dinner tomorrow? My parents want to meet you." Maria felt excited, but also a little nervous. She had never met Tom's parents before. She typed a reply. "Yes, I'd love to. What time?" Tom answered quickly. "Great. Come to our house at 6 p.m. We'll go to a nice restaurant." Maria smiled. She was happy to go, but she had a small worry. She had never been to a fancy restaurant before. What if she made a mistake? What if she used the wrong fork or spilled her drink? She decided to ask her teacher for help. Ms. Brown was always kind and helpful. The next day, Maria went back to her English school. She found Ms. Brown in her office. "Hello, Maria," said Ms. Brown with a smile. "How can I help you?" Maria explained about the dinner invitation. "I'm worried about making mistakes," she said. "Can you teach me some restaurant manners?" Ms. Brown nodded. "Of course. I'd be happy to help. Let's go over some basic rules." For the next hour, Ms. Brown taught Maria many useful things. 1. How to use a napkin. "Put it on your lap when you sit down," Ms. Brown said. 2. Which fork to use. "Start from the outside and work your way in," she explained. 3. How to hold a knife and fork. "Hold the fork in your left hand and the knife in your right," Ms. Brown demonstrated. 4. What to do when you finish eating. "Put your knife and fork together on the plate," she showed Maria. Maria listened carefully and practiced with some pretend utensils. She felt much better after the lesson. "Thank you so much, Ms. Brown," Maria said happily. "You're welcome, Maria. Remember, the most important things are to be polite and to enjoy your meal. You'll do great." As Maria was about to leave, Ms. Brown added, "Oh, and one more thing. If you need to use the restroom during the meal, just say 'excuse me' and place your napkin on your chair." Maria nodded, grateful for all the advice. She felt more prepared now. Saturday evening came quickly. Maria stood in front of her mirror, trying to decide what to wear. She chose a pretty blue dress and comfortable shoes. She wanted to look nice, but also feel relaxed. She brushed her hair and put on a little makeup. Then she practiced saying "nice to meet you" and "thank you for inviting me" in the mirror. She wanted to make a good first impression on Tom's parents. At 5:30 p.m., Maria left her house. She walked to the bus stop, feeling both excited and nervous. On the bus, she went over Ms. Brown's advice in her head. The bus ride seemed very long, but finally she arrived at Tom's house. Maria took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. Tom opened the door with a big smile. "Hi, Maria. Come in. My parents are excited to meet you." Maria stepped inside. Tom's parents were waiting in the living room. They both smiled warmly at her. "Hello, Maria," said Tom's mother. "We've heard so much about you. It's nice to finally meet you." "Thank you for inviting me," Maria replied politely, remembering her English lessons. "Tom tells us you're taking English classes," Tom's father said. "How long have you been studying?" "For about a year now," Maria answered. "I really enjoy learning English." Tom's father nodded approvingly. "That's wonderful. Practice is the key to learning any language." Tom's mother checked her watch. "Well, shall we go? Our reservation is for 6:30. They all went outside and got into the car. As they drove to the restaurant, Tom's parents asked Maria questions about her English classes and her home country. Maria felt more relaxed as they talked. The restaurant was beautiful. There were fancy lights and soft music playing. A friendly waiter showed them to their table. Maria remembered what Ms. Brown had taught her. She carefully placed her napkin on her lap after sitting down. Tom's mother noticed and gave her an approving smile. The waiter brought menus. Maria looked at hers, feeling a bit overwhelmed by all the choices. There were words she didn't understand. "What would you recommend?" she asked Tom politely. "The grilled chicken is really good here," Tom suggested. "Would you like to try that?" Maria nodded gratefully. When the waiter came back, they all placed their orders. "And what would you like to drink?" the waiter asked Maria. Maria wasn't sure what to choose. She looked at Tom for help. "We have a nice selection of juices," Tom said. "Maybe you'd like to try the apple juice?" "Yes, apple juice, please," Maria said to the waiter. While they waited for their food, Tom's parents asked Maria more questions. They wanted to know about her family, her studies, and her plans for the future. Maria answered as best she could in English, sometimes pausing to think of the right words. "Your English is very good, Maria," Tom's father said kindly. "Thank you," Maria replied. "I'm still learning, but I enjoy it very much." "That's the right attitude," Tom's mother said. "Learning a new language opens up so many opportunities." When the food arrived, Maria looked at all the forks and knives. She remembered Ms. Brown's advice: start from the outside and work your way in. She picked up the correct fork for her salad and began to eat slowly. The salad was delicious. It had fresh greens, tomatoes, and a tasty dressing. Maria enjoyed every bite. During the main course, Maria was careful to cut her chicken into small pieces. She chewed with her mouth closed and didn't talk while eating. She noticed that Tom's family did the same. At one point, Maria needed to take a break from eating. She remembered to place her knife and fork in an inverted V on her plate. Tom's mother nodded approvingly. "You have very good table manners, Maria," she said. Maria felt proud. "Thank you," she replied. "I've been learning about restaurant etiquette." "It shows," Tom's father said. "It's always good to learn about different customs, especially when you're in a new country." The conversation continued pleasantly throughout the meal. They talked about movies, books, and interesting places to visit in the city. Maria found herself relaxing and enjoying the food and company. "Maria, how do you like the chicken?" Tom asked. "It's very good," Maria replied. "Thank you for recommending it." After the main course, the waiter cleared their plates and brought dessert menus. Maria was quite full, but everything looked delicious. "Would you like to share a dessert, Maria?" Tom asked. "Yes, that would be nice," Maria agreed. They chose a chocolate cake to share. When it arrived, it looked even better than in the picture. They all enjoyed the rich, sweet taste. "This cake is wonderful," Maria said. "We don't have anything quite like this in my country." "Oh, what kind of desserts are popular where you're from?" Tom's mother asked with interest. Maria described some traditional desserts from her home country. Everyone listened with curiosity, asking questions about the ingredients and how they were made. As they finished eating, Maria remembered her final lesson. She placed her fork and spoon parallel on the plate, pointing to the 4 o'clock position. This showed she was finished. Tom's father asked for the bill. While they waited, he turned to Maria. "We've enjoyed meeting you, Maria. You must join us for dinner again soon." "Thank you very much," Maria said, feeling happy. "I had a wonderful time." They left the restaurant and drove back to Tom's house. Before Maria got out of the car to catch her bus, Tom's mother spoke. "Maria, dear, would you like to come over next Saturday? I could teach you how to make some traditional American dishes." Maria's face lit up. "I would love that. Thank you." She said goodbye to everyone and walked to the bus stop. As she rode home, Maria felt proud of herself. She had been nervous about the dinner, but everything had gone well. She had used her English, remembered her manners, and made a good impression. "I can't wait to tell Ms. Brown on Monday," she thought happily. As Maria got ready for bed that night, she smiled to herself. It had been a perfect evening. She had learned new things, enjoyed good food, and made new friends. She fell asleep looking forward to her next dinner with Tom's family, and to all the new experiences waiting for her in the future. The next morning, Maria woke up feeling happy. She decided to write in her English journal about the dinner. She wanted to practice her writing and remember all the details of the evening. As she wrote, she realized how much she had learned, not just about restaurant manners, but also about having conversations in English. She felt more confident now about using her English skills in real-life situations. Maria finished her journal entry with a smile. She was excited about her cooking lesson next Saturday, and she looked forward to many more opportunities to practice her English and learn about American culture.